Yes, guys, how you doing? Welcome back to the Football Inc. How are you? Hope you're all happy and healthy, doing the things you love. It's Jonny and Butler back at it on the Football Inc. Apologies for my absence yesterday. I had a hell of a lot going on and I was really unwell in the morning, so I had to cancel all streams. Guys, please do... Well, first and foremost, before I say that, say well done to Johnny H for handling the show once again. He's becoming a pro. Big up to you all for joining us. Please do the usual admin, like you're taking your shoes off as you walk into someone's house. Smash the like button if you enjoy the video. Hit the subscribe if you haven't already. Notification button should be squeezed. Comments should be dropped. We are available on all of your podcast platforms. Spotify, where you can watch us back, and Apple and Amazon and all that stuff where you can listen to us back straight after the show if you miss it. If you are watching this back and you don't always watch us live and you want to watch us on the playback, then you do have the option of listening or watching on those things. So that's your jam. Give us a follow and a rating. Appreciate you all. We are also sponsored by OK Jersey, as always. I still haven't updated the code here, but listen, for the next 3 days, I think it is, 4 days, until the end of the weekend, there is a transfer window special that OK Jersey are offering. You always get 8% off using code FINC, F-I-N-C, at checkout, but you get an additional discount. You get 15% off if you actually put in the code FINC15 at checkout. So can't ask better than that. Great quality for all of your clobber. And I was taking a look. They got some really cool Jeremy jackets and things. I ordered one myself a couple of days ago. Looking forward to it arriving. Go a size up. But yeah, big up to OK Jersey. All of your clobber, new, old, branded, unbranded. Search OK Jersey. Find what you're looking for. Code FINC15 gets you 15% off at checkout, which makes the thing just unbelievable value. Big up to them. Big up to them. Johnny, how are you?
I'm all good. Yeah, I mean, the OK Jersey stuff is fantastic, right? I mean, we're talking about all the stuff that you can get. We all know you can get from loads of different places, but seeing the quality, I've had loads of messages from you guys who have ordered the stuff, so bang up for that. Yeah, Sean, I was a little bit nervous yesterday. Had a quite hilarious...
I heard there was a Spurs 5 interlude.
Yeah, a first 5 intro, and then I went into panic mode because I was thinking, am I in Spurs 5? Am I broadcasting in Spurs 5? I didn't know where I was. But yeah, I managed to get a grip of myself eventually. And thanks to everybody who sent me all the kind messages yesterday. Very much appreciated. But this is the dynamic duo, not the dynamic uno. Yeah, but thanks for everyone. And listen, guys, if you're on audio, we're trying to grow the audio, see people starting to follow us on audio. If you're on Apple, after the show, or on Spotify, if you're listening, please give us a follow on that. We're trying to grow the numbers. Even if you don't watch it now and again, it really helps us. Thanks very much. Yes, Sean, it's the big day, mate. It's D-Day, Champions League D-Day now. 2 managers really massively under the spotlight now. Thomas Frank, will Dr. Tottenham turn up again? A team that, can't win a game at the moment. Eintracht Frankfurt, where have we heard that before? And Arne Slot, under serious pressure now, with rumours that they've already spoken to Alonso's representatives. And even if he agrees to take a sabbatical till the summer, there's even talk that Steven Gerrard would be prepared to come in and, take the reins until the summer as an interim, a.k.a. Michael Carrick.
Yeah, look, we'll start there, mate. We'll start there. Qarabag tonight for Liverpool. Obviously, we'll do the transfer news, views and clues later. Qarabag, not entirely safe, for what it's worth, not entirely safe in the top 24. In all likelihood, they should be okay. They've got 10 points. For them to get kicked, and let me get the table up. We've got a lot of connotations because all of the games are on at the same time tonight. So an absolute melee of madness. It's going to be a sensational night of football tonight. Can't wait for it. Let's have a look at the Champions League table as we will pivot back and forth between the table and the fixtures. But so yeah, Qarabag up away at Liverpool. So you'd think Liverpool are favourites. They should win. If they do win, then Liverpool will, at minimum, have a top 4 spot. And then, as you said before, Johnny, correct me if I'm wrong, but the top 4 get home field advantage in the second leg all the way up to the semi-finals, right?
Right. So 1 and 2, they get home
semi-finals to 1
second
and
leg.
2. Yeah, sorry.
They get all the way to the final, and 3 and 4 get home advantage in the second leg all the way to the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
Spurs, if they finish in the top 8, will be guaranteed that in the last 16 in the second leg. Okay.
But will it also mean if a team that in the quarterfinals, if we were to finish 5th and we were to play against, say, not a team from 1, 2, 3, and 4, then we would also get home.
Correct. I believe so.
Yeah?
I believe so. So. Unless UEFA, like Spurs, don't read their own rule book and their own contracts.
Yeah, interesting. But Qarabag, a team that are currently sitting in 18th, 3 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw. They've been very difficult away at Qarabag. It's a little bit, obviously, a long way to go. We're thinking Liverpool should be able to win this one tonight, though, shouldn't we?
They should be able to win that one, but let's be honest. We've seen them draw against Burnley. I think they haven't won in the last 4 games, is it? I can't remember now off the top of my head, but they are struggling at the moment, Liverpool.
Yeah.
Liverpool
lost to Bournemouth. They beat Marseille. They drew with Burnley. They won the FA Cup. They drew with Arsenal, and they drew with Fulham, and they drew with Leeds. Yeah, in the Premier League, in the Cup they've won, and in the Champions League. Different football, mate. Different football. We have to get our heads around this weird situation where people are sitting there saying, "Why is it? It doesn't make any sense." Just using Tottenham as an example, that we're so abject, so bad in the Premier League at home, but so good in the Champions League. Different style of football. European football is more open. Look, it seems to be suiting Arsenal. When Arsenal are allowed to play more open, they've won 7 from 7 in the Champions League. And in the Premier League, they are butchering football. They are destroying the pretty game, but they are still getting the results in that game. So Arsenal can adapt either way. But yeah, look,
did you see what Anthony Gordon said? Did you hear what Anthony Gordon said?
Yeah, he said they're murdering football, didn't he, or something?
He said the Premier League's football.
Anti-football.
Yeah, Anthony Gordon, yeah. He said the football's being murdered. It's all about physicality now. Who can win the most duels? Who can be the most physical in a Premier League game? Yet in Europe, it's back to the old-fashioned football, and that's where we can excel. I mean, what does that say? Is that not an indictment? Is that not an indictment of the Premier League right now? Because I'm not enjoying this.
No one is, mate. No one is. Brighton, who aren't having a terrible season, had thousands of empty seats, even in their 32,000 seater stadium for the last game. Everton had empty seats for their game against Leeds. Or was it Everton at home? It was Everton at home, yeah. Tottenham have had empty seats most of the season. I never sell my ticket when I put it on the exchange anymore. I don't even bother putting it on the exchange. I might as well just give it away. But I don't think I offered my ticket on Spurs Talk Show for one of the games in the last couple of weeks, last month, either December or January. Said, does anybody want it? And I had a few people that said, yeah, I'll take it. I said, you can't sell it. You have to give me your CRN number. And then they went, don't worry about it then. No one wants to go, mate, because not only like in specific teams, you might be watching specifically bad scenarios, but just generally, it is haramble. It's haramble. It's becoming bigger, faster, stronger. It's the homogenization of football players. Everyone's got to be 6'1" or more or taller. Everyone's got to be 12 stone or stronger. Everyone's got to have a 6-pack and built like a boxer. And everyone's got to be able to do the 100 meters in 12 seconds or 11 seconds and less or whatever. There's less about technique, less about talent, all about
physical,
duels, all about pressing, all about set pieces. It's just becoming a game of like Bulldog. Do you remember playing Bulldog when you were at
Robot? School? Yeah, Robot, yeah. But I used to love Bulldog, run across the playground when I was a kid.
Yeah, Bulldog was great. Listen, yeah. I was a big unit, mate, so I could always get down to the final 3 or 4,
Yeah.
And then I'd have like 4 people trying to get me at once.
But it's like it's robotic. And I think I said the other day, someone malfunctioned the cyborgs at Arsenal against Manchester City. But the data guys have screwed up football. The chances if you shoot from outside the box, the chances are you will lose possession and the counter attack could cost you a goal. Therefore, we shouldn't be shooting from outside the box. That's why last weekend I was almost rejoicing. Buendia with an absolute scorcher from outside the box. And Mateus Cunha's goal and Dorgu's goal, right? Both fantastic goals from outside the box. I want to see the return of football. Listen, I'm all for set pieces. Why can't you have set pieces? I don't have a problem with set pieces. I mean, Spurs was shocking at set pieces. So I'm all for the improvement in it. But when it's to the detriment and there's nothing else in between, football is now about a moment or a set piece.
Yeah, it's becoming special teams stuff. I hate it. What I'd also say is the long throws, though, whilst I find them, I used to love it in a rarity when one person did it. Stokes, like the lap did it. It was so good. But every team does it. Most teams are no good at it, but it still chews up a minute of game time. You're seeing less and less and less open play football time. It used to be 73 minutes out of 90. Now it's about 58, 59. It's a rip-off. It's a rip-off. You're paying all that £100 to go and watch your team play. And then most of the time they're spending pushing each other in the box and argy-bargy. It's rubbish. But what I would say, Johnny, is, as I've been saying this for a long time, the pendulum always swings back. Right? Because
hopefully it is now.
Well, look, Manchester United, to be fair to Carrick, he decided to say, throw caution to the wind, play a little bit of football, have your cracks from distance, whatever. Whether that was by design or whether it was just the players that took it upon themselves. But hopefully, the zonal play got replaced by man-to-man press. Hopefully, man-to-man press. Hopefully, smart coaches, as always happens in life, when someone finds an advantage, it's only a matter of time until people emulate it and eradicate the advantage, or they figure out a solution for it. It's the same in, like, I don't know, you're a clothing guy, right? You used to be in clothing. How many brands would bring out all this football, all their clobber, and then the guys in China would just rip it off, and then their advantage would be eradicated in terms of the pricing mechanism, the pricing formula, because it's very difficult to kind of justify the prices when people can just rip it off. In football, it's exactly the same thing. If everybody moves towards bigger, faster, stronger, eventually someone will work out on a consistent basis how to do it. And as soon as that template is figured out, just like with Ange Ball, when the guy went on, who was it? Gary O'Neill went on TV and said, "This is how you play against Tottenham." Monday Night Football. This is how you figure out Tottenham. And then the template was figured out. If Carrick's template has figured out Arsenal, we will see. We shall see. But I really hope that this man-to-man press thing is a short-term part of the game and that we get back to the beautiful game, because right now it's ugly as sin.
But you see, Morgan Rogers, as Reece was just saying before, Morgan Rogers shoot from the edge of the box. Buendia. Obviously, Emery is going against the grain. And it's working. I mean, how many goals have Spurs conceded from outside the box this season? Probably more than anybody, because he's thinking in his head, Frank's head, let's not shoot from outside the box. He's saying let's not shoot from outside the box, so he thinks no one else is. Meanwhile, we're conceding from shots from outside the box. But Reece was also right. What is the point of having a long throw specialist when you've got Xavi Simons, right, and
Pedro
Porro in the box, right? They should be on the bloody halfway line or outside the box, waiting for the ball to come back out so they can kick it upfield and have a breakaway.
Well, that's the thing. If you're doing this bigger, stronger, faster thing and you've got a couple of small guys, where do they sit? Xavi Simons against Dortmund. Xavi Simons was the guy who was on the halfway line, and he was the guy who had to protect against Adeyemi when Adeyemi broke, if you remember.
Yeah.
Right? You don't want Xavi Simons placed on the halfway line because A, he's useless in terms of offense, and B, he's not exactly the best defender. But because he's the smallest guy on the pitch, you stick him back there because he's useless in a bigger, stronger, faster set piece FC melee. It's bonkers, but I don't think that Thomas Frank, and I don't think there's a lot of managers that I don't think are proactive enough to figure out the solution. And so instead they just try to catch up. And we're behind the 8 ball on that as a Tottenham fan, because we don't have bigger players, stronger players, or faster players than probably 15 of the Premier League teams. And
we got 6 number 8s.
Why we're struggling so much,
Yeah, we got like 6 number 8s,
Yeah,
we got 6 8s. We got 6 8s. no real wingers.
Just in the physical side, like, who's the biggest player in the Tottenham team? Like Romero's only 6'1", Van der Ven's a big lump. I mean, Dragusin probably would do well in this style of football, but he wants out. You know, Mawani's a big guy but doesn't try. We don't have a lot of players that are just like the Joel Lintons of this world. But I don't want to watch a game of football if this carries on by the 27-28 season. You'll just have Joel Lintons everywhere, and the game will become like rugby league. You know, I just don't want that. Rugby union is a great game. Rugby league for me is a terrible game because rugby league is just the homogenization of every sort of person, or the props, the wingers, the centers, the fullbacks. They're all exactly the same. They're all 6'2". They're all built like brick shit houses, and they just run into each other.
They come out of a mold.
You just got to take a hit and give a hit. Whereas rugby union, the beautiful game of
finesse.
Rugby union's got a place for the fact, especially at school, not to get off the topic, I know we're talking about football, but rugby union's got a place at school for everybody. The fat kid can be a prop. The lanky kid can be a lock, right? The fast kid can be a winger. The footballer can be a fly half. There's a space for everybody. And obviously, as you get better and bigger and better levels, like it's a little bit different. But generally speaking, I want football to have space for the little guy, the Messis. Do you think Lionel Messi would be as valuable if he was coming up in this game versus the one who came up?
Could you imagine? I'm not being funny. If Lionel Messi was at Spurs, he'd probably have to go out on loan. He wouldn't be able to get again. I mean, listen.
That's a good point, though. Would Lionel Messi be as valuable if he was 18, 19 years old coming up now in the Premier League? Let's say he was English, not at Barcelona, because it might be different on the continent. But in the Premier League, if he was coming up in Chelsea, would he be as valuable in this generation of football as he was in the 90s?
Well, trouble is at Chelsea, they'd probably forget that they got him in storage along with the other 47 other kids that they've got. But look, I thought Pep, who's always has first mover advantage in stylized football. He's the guy that takes us to the new generation, you know, whether it be a double pivot or whatever system he plays. But even he seems lost in this system. I just don't know. I'm at dismay with the football that I'm watching. And that's why I want to have freedom, players to have freedom. You know, I don't want to see a manager berating a player for expressing himself and moving out of that square box that he was supposed to be in. Could you imagine Gaza in today's football? He wouldn't be able to play. He'd be falling out with every coach. Look, Gaza, I told you to be here, but come on, boss. You know, I'll pick up the ball and beat 3 players, and
not allowed anymore. Because the XG nerds say what you're doing is unreliable. The value isn't there. Mate, data has spoiled the game. It's like Silicon Valley has overcome all aspects, right? Our entire world has become digital, and with that becomes data. And then with that, the nerds do the analysis and say, your best chance of success is this. But that doesn't work if you have players that don't fit that criteria. And then by the time, if you're late to the party, by the time you end up reshuffling your entire squad, the pendulum will swing back. It always does. And that's why, you know, I'm torn on players like Akliouche as a signing. I know we're getting we got to go back to the Champions League, but just to finish the point, like for me, Akliouche is not really going to help Tottenham in the current vision, but then, or not as much. He might he will obviously help us given what the situation we're in. But like I can sit there and, you know, when you read stories from Ali Gold saying Monaco have been waiting patiently all summer, all January, expecting a bid from Tottenham that hasn't arrived. Is that because the data guys are going, he's not big, he's not strong, he's not fast. I mean, he's not slow, but he's a technical kind of guy, right? And the Premier League isn't like that anymore. But so you don't go and get him, so you do nothing. That's an error. If you get someone else, and then in 6 months' time, the formula to how to compete against the bigger, stronger, faster thing is figured out and the template is built, then you want someone like Akliouche to take advantage of it. But like that therein is the problem, because Tottenham right now are facing a relegation battle or potentially, and then you're going, well, should we go there or should we go there? And you end up like not doing anything because you got paralysis from analysis. And that to me is like, it's a problem. But I wish that the football in the Premier League would pivot faster towards going back to a decent level of standard.
So tonight, for example, when the teams play in the Champions League, they'll be able to express themselves. Maybe they'll have more freedom because it's not as physical, definitely not as physical, and it's more open. Teams are willing to attack. Spurs play Eintracht Frankfurt tonight, who have got a big game at the weekend, which they must win. Maybe a bit of retribution. Yeah.
Just quickly. So we're saying Liverpool beating Qarabag, are we?
I think Qarabag could still give them a scream, a little bit of a worry, but I'm going to go for a 2-1 Liverpool win. I was thinking that Real Madrid could be the one, funny enough, that might be
away at Benfica.
Yeah, Benfica, away at Benfica, Jose Mourinho.
Yeah, look, Benfica will need a win to qualify. They're on 6 points. Yeah. They won't necessarily get it either way, but they'll have to win. A draw's not enough.
Yeah.
Is Mourinho going to go there and figure out? Is Mourinho going to welcome those guys and figure it out?
He'll know some of the stuff, but Arbeloa's getting Real Madrid to play a little bit better football since that shock in where they got knocked out the cup by the 17th place second division team. But I fancy Liverpool too.
For Real Madrid to fall out, you would need
Spurs to win, no?
Well, they would need Spurs to win. They would need Liverpool to win. PSG, Newcastle. They need several of the 13-point teams to win because they're in.
They're in, right? They're in. It's just whether or not they're top four. They're in 100%. They're not
in 100%. If City, Madrid, Sporting, Barcelona, Chelsea, Newcastle, PSG, and Tottenham,
no, but they can't know. They can't know because PSG are playing Newcastle for a start.
Oh, that's right.
So
that's a good point. Yeah.
So that's not going to happen. But look, I think they're safe. But that could be an interesting one. But I think Qarabag will give Liverpool a bit of a scare. But I expect Liverpool to, Salah's back. I expect a bit of freedom in their play. They beat Marseille, didn't they, quite comfortably in the last game? Was it 3-0? I think it was.
Yep.
Yeah.
Atletico Madrid against Bodo shouldn't be a problem, right?
I don't think so. But I think Madrid should win comfortably. But the big game there is Napoli-Chelsea. I know Conte be trying to get one over on them, that's for sure. It'll be
they need a win to get into the next stage, right?
Yeah.
Napoli are on 8 points. They're just currently outside on 25th spot. So Napoli will need to win. If they do, then Chelsea will slip out. And we'll have to play 2 more games.
Well,
so we're rooting for Napoli. I'm sorry, Chelsea fans, if you're watching. I've never seen a Chelsea fan in the chat, to be honest. So I think
we see lots of others. We see lots of Villa. We see Newcastle. We've got lots of fans that come in from lots of different channels.
We want Napoli to beat Chelsea. To beat Chelsea. We're expecting Atletico to win. We want a draw between PSG and Newcastle.
That would be superb.
Barcelona have got. Can't
remember who they got. Barcelona.
Copenhagen at home, so they'll be.
Yeah, that would be a walkover.
Let's talk about Tottenham then, mate. What are we doing?
Look, if Spurs manage to pull this off and finish in the top 8, I mean, at the beginning of the season, that was our dream. Yeah? We could actually finish at the top 8 and people were going, don't be daft. And as well, after we drew with Bodo.
Yeah. And Monaco.
Right?
Yeah.
And Monaco, not a chance we're going to finish in the top 8, right? So should we give some credit to Thomas Frank? Should he manage to pull it off to be in the top 8? I think we have to, do we not?
No, of course. If he wins tonight and he gets top 8, you can't sack a guy who's done that, right? You can't. Yeah. I said the same thing about Ange Postecoglou, right? Like you can't sack him until he's out of the European competitions. You can't do it. And, it worked out in the end. I don't think Tottenham will make it to win the Champions League. Of course not. But it's a nice little distraction. But what I don't want, mate, I really like if we losing tonight or drawing tonight will, I think, potentially put us even more in line for a relegation battle, because those additional 2 games are just the last thing that Tottenham need right now.
Yeah, I mean, who do you think is more likely to get sacked if they lose tonight? Between...
Oh, if we lose tonight, I think Thomas Frank... Well, no, I don't know, actually, because I think Liverpool have got their obvious next candidate, whereas I don't think Tottenham do. But I do think that if both teams... I mean, Liverpool are going to be... It would take a really difficult situation for Liverpool to be outside the top 8.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think, I think they're going to get... I think they'll get through. Listen...
You need 5 teams to win. You need 5 of those teams from 13 to win.
Is Dr. Tottenham going to visit Spurs tonight? I mean, look, Eintracht Frankfurt are missing their striker. They've got they've signed a guy that can't play because he's ineligible. They're the number 10,
no manager,
managerless. They're number 10. This Turkish boy, I can't remember his name now. Real creative player. He's not playing tonight. Canizun, yeah. They've got some good players. They've got some good players.
I don't know. They've got Nathaniel Brown,
Leeds,
the player that I wanted Tottenham to get. Right?
Is he at Leeds? No.
Nathaniel Brown. No, he's He's a German Frankfurt kid who plays.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. No, I tell you who I do. Who's had a bad season? Who is it in the midfield that we've been talking about last season? Larson.
Oh yeah. Hugo Larson.
Hugo Larson.
Yeah, he's not playing tonight, though, is he?
Is he out?
Yeah, I don't think Hugo Larson's. I think is he injured? Let me have a look. Frankfurt FC. I don't think Larson's been fit for a while, has he? They played Hoffenheim. Let's have a look. Lineups. Yeah, no. Against Hoffenheim, they played Sakiri and Chaby. Was Larson on the bench? Oh, he was on the bench. He was on the bench and he came off the bench. Okay, so Hugo Larson might play tonight.
So look, we both like Hugo Larson last year.
He's cracking player.
Yeah, he's had a poor season this season, but you just know someone's going to turn up. Listen,
it's interesting that they actually rested Arta Tiate, the centre back, the left sided centre back, who's a player that I've always admired. I think he's getting on a bit now. Let me have a look. How old is he now?
People can say that they got nothing to play for. Believe me, they were pissed off that we beat them last year, right? To knock them out the cup. They would love to knock us off our perch. I'm telling you. Sure. Plus the fact that they get another £2 million, and also this stand up here, right? This whole stadium. When they start singing, I felt like I was at one of those Nazi rallies when I was in the stadium. They all held up their scarves and they started singing. Like,
where are your papers? Where are your papers?
They were holding up their scarves and they were singing. They were singing like let's just say it was one of those anthems that took you back. That you heard during the Second World War, and every single person in the stadium was singing it. They were still bouncing around after the final whistle when we knocked them out. They are a fanatical fan base, and there are quite a few fans that haven't gone tonight. I mean, I haven't gone. I was there last year, and I haven't gone, and nor did I go to Burnley. So
I should have picked up the ticket from Lubo. Should have gone. I haven't been to Frankfurt, and I love European days away.
European days are great, mate. European days
would have been sensational.
Well, you never know, Sean. You never know. There might be an interesting away day coming up. You never know. Please God. I've just checked out. Yeah. Yeah, escape to victory. No, listen, look, it's a fierce atmosphere there. I hope to post some stuff last year, but it was quite intimidating. The police were very intimidating last year. Marched onto a train, as then marched into the woods.
Not in the woods. You will march, England. You will march with your papers.
In line. Yeah, we were marched marched into the stadium. It was a weird thing. We were marched in, and there was all this security through the forest and everything. And then we got into this. Went through the gate. We were all marched through the gate, and then as soon as we were through the gate, we were mingling with all the Eintracht Frankfurt fans. It was like,
yeah.
it was
Do you know,
weird.
it's so weird, mate. It's so weird. You go to Tottenham, Chelsea at the Stamford Bridge, right? Or West Ham come to Tottenham or whatever, and they have like designated horse parades where they kind of protect everyone to get down to the away section. They keep you in the stadium for half an hour after the game to protect you, all that stuff. You go to Fulham.
I love Fulham away.
You walk in the side, and look, the away fans and the home fans share the same beer tent.
Yeah, I know. It's weird. I love Fulham away though. I mean, Burnley away is a great away day as well. It's just it's a nightmare journey. It's like 5 hours there, 4 or 5 hours back. But the Fulham away, Leeds away, they're great. The old station.
It's this channel uncancelable. We've been trying, James. We've been trying, my man. We've been
James,
trying to get
mate, you keep
every
coming
day
back
for a year.
mate. You love it, mate. You know it.
We're the non-woke channel.
Let
me ask you this, Johnny.
What about our injury crisis, Sean? I mean, what is going on? Can I ask you a question? Do you think a few people have messaged me, Sean, having watched Gary's video on Football Inc. If you missed it last Friday, we had Gary, who's on the medical side, has been advising Spurs for the last 15 years on various things. It was a fantastic chat. If you haven't watched it after the show, I suggest you watch it at some point. But at one stage in the show, and I'm going to clip it and post this out, he spoke about the pitch and the training ground not being grass, fully grass. It was grass and synthetic weave. And I'm wondering, Sean, is that weave that we've got on our training pitch, because a lot of the injuries have been on the training pitch but they're not like the hamstring injuries that we suffered under Ange Postecoglou. These are like impact injuries, twists, niggles. Do you think that could possibly be the reason? I mean, we've now lost Porro. I knew we'd lost Porro. Everyone was saying to me he was tired. He wasn't. It was a hamstring.
Do you know Pedro Porro has played 109 of 116 Premier League games? So there's been 116 Premier League games that have been played since Pedro Porro joined our football club. And he has played in 109 of them and started 99 or something.
And how many times, Sean, have you and I turned around and said, we got to arrest Porro? We've got Jed Spence. We got to arrest Porro.
Talk about that whole red zone thing that Gary was talking about. I mean, Pedro Porro's red zone must be incredibly longer than everybody else's.
But he should have been rested. The same as Richie, having had an injury, should not have been playing every single minute and resting Kolo Muani, even though he's shit, right? I mean, look, it's... The
thing about Richie is, right, he's like, he moans when he gets substituted. He doesn't like it. And then he moans when he stays on and gets injured. Like, he's a bit of a moany little git, isn't he? Let's be honest.
He's just a winner. But we've got 14 injuries now. Listen, Sean, let me declare. Let me declare.
He's a winner. No, he's definitely in the same bucket of Harry Kane and Ronaldo, that guy. 100%.
I don't mean that. That's not what I meant, mate. He wants to win. Listen, let me announce the good news, guys. The good news is Tottenham Hotspur are top of the injury league. Woohoo! Yep. And guess who's bottom? Arsenal.
Yeah.
We are top of the injury league.
Talking about winners, Johnny, can I just declare something? All right.
Go on.
I came upstairs before the show with a bottle of cider. Okay. And I just opened it and I poured something. I don't know how this happened, but I feel like I'm winning. This to me is like when you pull out your winter jacket for the first time in like October because it's getting a bit nippy. And then you find a £10 note in your pocket that's been in there since last February. And you go,
you found a 50?
No, I've just found another bottle of cider that's unopened. I was like, where did this come from? It's been sat here. I can't believe. I thought I only had one cider, but now I got two. So let's go.
He's got two ciders. He's got two ciders and I got a cup of tea, like, you know?
Yep.
All right, listen.
Prediction for tonight.
Prediction for tonight. I've just won. What fucking team are we putting out, Sean?
Oh, the team's easy, mate. The team's easy to predict.
Jed Spence, right back.
Yeah, Jed Spence right back, left back of Udogie.
Destiny.
And then Romero and Danzo. And then in the midfield, it will be probably Archie Gray and Polinia. And then left wing will probably be Mwani in the 10, Xavi on the right. It will be Odobert.
So you think Mwani's going to play?
If not that, then you put Xavi out there and you put Pape Sarr in there somewhere. But that's it. That's what it's going to be.
I think Pape Sarr might be playing in the 10 role tonight.
Yeah, maybe
further forward,
or just a flat 3 or whatever you want. Yeah, and give them more advanced role, whatever, or let Archie Gray do it. But yeah, listen, we're paying Kolo Muani 180 grand a week until he's no longer here. He can pull his weight. That's what I would say.
Yeah, I think it could be Archie Gray. I don't know who else we've got.
No,
Callum Owasi has gone on the plane. So he hasn't gone to Torino yet.
We rejected a bid this morning for him from PSV Eindhoven.
Yeah. I mean, look, he's our captain under 21. He's one of the players I've rated the most for the last 3 years coming through our academy. And I'm like devastated that he's going to be sold. You can't sell him. Put him out on loan. Put him out. We'll come back to that after. But
let's we'll come back to Tottenham. Let's finish off the chat. We've got some transfer news we've got to get to as well.
Let's do PSV versus Newcastle, because that's a huge game for both clubs.
Massive
Newcastle Gumaresh was out injured the other day. I'm not sure if he's back tonight. PSG really need to win this. Very good at home, whilst Newcastle struggle away from home.
Yeah.
But it's not the first time they played PSG. And so I think maybe...
seasons ago, didn't they? In the home.
So maybe, I thought they were unlucky on the weekend, in their game on the weekend in the league. I think PSG might just have too much. I'm not sure of PSG's injury situation at the moment, but I fancy them to win. Sorry, what was your Spurs? I went 2-1 Spurs. What were you going for Spurs?
1-0 Tottenham.
1-0. Okay.
Yeah, I just think but the only thing I would say about that one is it's just interesting that they left Arthur Tiate on the bench and they left Hugo Larsson. I thought Hugo Larsson was out because he hasn't played the last couple of games. Maybe he's just returning from injury, but he did come on against Hoffenheim. And so maybe I don't know. Like maybe you got a point there, Johnny. Maybe the £2 million in revenue that comes from the win, €2 million that comes from the win, is reason in itself to go for it, because they're struggling in the Bundesliga as well. They haven't got a manager. It's just be interesting. But yeah, I take your point about the idea that they want to get revenge on Tottenham, but ultimately they have nothing to play for, and normally I would say Tottenham therefore have no excuses. However, the injury crisis is absolutely insane. Even Luca Williams-Barnett's now got a knock, which basically means we're not going to see him for the rest of the season. It's absolutely mental. PSG, Newcastle, mate, I'm going to go for 3-1 to PSG.
Yeah. I'm going to go 2-0 PSG. I'm going to go 2-0.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So then that will get them into the top, or in all likelihood, will put them in a good shout. Napoli, Chelsea, what's your score prediction there?
I think Napoli will do the school teacher away from home. They're desperate for the points. Chelsea also would like to win to get them into the top. Scott McTominay with a couple of goals to win 2-1. Cole Palmer probably be back tonight. Have you seen his new logo, Sean? The matchstick man.
Whose new logo?
Cole Palmer.
No.
He's got that pose, but imagine with the matchstick man that you drew when you were like 3 years of age.
What, has he trademarked it or something?
Yeah, he's trademarked it. I think his mum must have done it for him.
I remember when Gareth Bale trademarked that, and I was like, "Oh, come off it, mate! What are we doing here?" But he probably made a lot of money out of it somehow. Mate, I genuinely think if Tottenham don't win tonight, I think we might get Napoli in the playoff. I've got a feeling that it'll be the story that Conte beats his old team Chelsea, and then he wants to beat Tottenham. Because I don't know, because Napoli are not like
this club.
club. He doesn't do 2-week midweek football very well, does he? You know.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't indeed. So I'm going to go 2-1 Napoli though.
I'll join you on that one. I'll join you on that one. That's fine. Arsenal against Kairat, no issue, right? They're at home.
5-0.
4-0. Yeah, ridiculous.
5-0. I'm going to go, and changing 7 players. I reckon
they'll play kids to get on the goal.
Yeah, they put the kids on tonight. See Nawani, first game for Marseille, scored. Was it Marseille or was it Marseille? Yeah, 3 goals, scored a hat-trick.
Yeah. Very impressive. Very impressive. Any other big games? Paphos Slavia Prague is a dead rubber. City Galatasaray. City should that one easily, no?
You'd think so. City of old, but maybe not. Maybe not. But no, I think they should be okay there. And the other one, which is a big game, is Borussia Dortmund versus Inter Milan. I expect a completely different showing from Borussia Dortmund tonight against Inter.
Both of these teams are a potential threat to Tottenham. In fact, just quickly, we're probably rooting for a Man City draw with Galatasaray, because if Man City do draw, then they can't beat us on goal difference because they've only got a GD of 4. So we're rooting for for the Tottenham fans watching. We're rooting for Man City to draw. We're rooting for a PSG Newcastle draw. We are rooting for Chelsea to lose to
Napoli,
and
Dortmund to beat Inter.
Yep. Dortmund to beat Inter. 100%. And if all those things happen, then Tottenham could still actually. If PSG and Newcastle draw, actually, that doesn't help us because they'll both go to 14, and then they'll both teams and they'll both be above us. Than us. They'll both be above us. So no, actually, we probably want PSG to win.
That's if we don't. That's
if we draw tonight, then a PSG Newcastle draw would be helpful.
Yeah, 100%.
Who has Sporting got? Sporting are a threat. Sporting have got a game against. Who are they playing? Athletic Club. Your club.
Yeah, Athletic Club have been poor this season.
Hang on a second, mate. Hang on a second. We haven't played this for a while.
It's that time once again. It's time to check in. We're going round the world to all our second teams.
Yeah,
I missed the summer fucking window, mate, when we used to play this song all the time.
Step right up and take your shot.
Remember it? Doing our draw, I miss our jingles. We don't really do jingles enough anymore.
We got to do more jingles. We were known as the Jingle Jangle channel, Sean. Yeah, we don't even have an intro.
Jingle Inc. We haven't even got an intro. Yeah, exactly. It's ridiculous.
We've got to get an intro. I'll have to do, even if it's a 6-second intro.
Yeah. We'll get you on Grok or me on Gemini to make something funny happen, and then we'll get a jingle doing it as well.
We got to get a jingle jangle working. So Athletic Club have been really poor this season. I can definitely see potentially Sporting Club, doing something. I mean, Nico Williams Jr., £100 million they've been quoted. Have you seen a £100 million footballer in the last year or so?
No, but he's probably worth that to them. You know, because they obviously have their limitations on who they can buy within the Basque region or the Basque denomination or whatever. Obviously, he came through there. So, like, if they were to sell him for, say, 50 million quid, which might be his actual value if he came from anywhere else in the world, then they have to go and replace him with someone else. But there probably isn't someone that has the same Basque access point. So therefore to them, selling him, he's only worth being sold for. I mean, he's very lucky that he's so good and that club basically has no other options to replace him, which is probably why he earns 300 grand a week and all that stuff, is because he's the best that they probably, he's probably, I've got no idea about this, but he's probably up there with like in the top 3 or 4 Basque players. Is it Basque? It is Basque, isn't it?
Basque, it's the Basque region. Yeah, San Sebastian, Bilbao, all that region. Sure.
Nightmare. When I was over there, mate, you walk into the shop, you're anywhere else in Spain and you go, all right, love, can I get a couple of pints of Thatchers? And they go, all right there, mate. Yeah, no worries. Where are you from? Oh, I'm from London. You are an expat. Whereas you go to Bilbao and you go, all right, love, and they go, no comprende, Scotcho. Because their second language is learning Spanish. So they don't learn English. They learn Basque when obviously their mother tongue is Basque. Yeah. And they learn Spanish as their second language.
But you just pointed to the wine. You just pointed to the wine or the beer. The wine and the food.
Mucho vino, por favor.
The tapas and the wine and everything was fantastic there. Sean, just to say that as I bigged up Randall Kolo Muani, he thinks we should be playing in the mud. So should we play it? Because I did say Randall Kolo Muani was going to be a proper player, didn't I?
You did.
I did.
Mud, mud, mud for you. You're always in the mud. You didn't think it could be true, and now you're in the mud.
Did he turn out to be a pothole?
You better watch out for the pothole, 'cause it's something to avoid. Don't ignore all his issues. Don't ignore all the noise.
Listen, I hold my hands up.
Noise. There was no noise of him being a donut, but he's turned out to be a donut, really.
Listen, I think we've basically bought an AI version, an imposter. This is the guy that was sold for 90 million from Eintracht Frankfurt to PSG, who was competing with top wingers throughout Europe, that went to Juventus and was a success in the second half of the season, went to the Club World Cup, scored 2 goals and an assist, and was playing on fire, who's played as a French international. We've got Barry Mouani. That's who we got. Barry Mouani, who can't...
Barry
Mouani can't trap a ball. He can't score a
not
goal.
Kolo Muani, Bozo Muani.
Bozo Muani. So I honestly, it's
hey, you know what makes it sting even more, Johnny, is that Stell after game week 3 or 4 decided to, and I used it. I said this. I was like this, wasn't I? I was like, mate, you keep saying it. Like you're saying he's shit. You're saying he's shit. Who signed him? He's like, I didn't say he was shit. I said he was shit in front of goal. I was like, no, I've got the evidence. And last night, he's like, just quickly, I want an apology. From
I know,
you.
I saw.
I was like, it's never going to happen, mate. The day
never
that I
happen. We can't apologise to Stell. It's never going to happen.
Never going to happen.
Never, ever, ever. I mean, Muani has been, I've got to be honest with you, knowing what I saw as a player, I think personally for me, he's a bigger disappointment than Ndombele for me, because I know the player that's actually in there, you know, that I've actually seen.
The problem with Ndombele is, mate, we paid that geezer 10 million quid a year for 6 years to sit on his arse and eat McDonald's. 60 million pound in wages that geezer picked up. 60 million pound.
That's a good one. Mono Muani. Mono Muani. Right, let's do the let's move on. Let's got a couple of super chats, then let's move on to the
transfer news include. Oh, we've got a couple more games to quickly run through. Big up to you, Dino Ciudini. Big up to you, my man. Big up to you. Johnny, in my absence, have you figured out how to do the choo-choo noise?
Yes, but where is it?
It's right at the bottom of the media assets. Right at the very bottom, there's it says background music, and then there's one of them that says choo choo. Right at the very bottom of media assets, right at the bottom.
Right at the bottom. Yep. Okay. Goal. Choo choo.
You see it? Puppies. Yep. That's the one. That's what you got to do. And you only do it once. You only do it once for the first person who brings in a super sticker.
Yeah. Where is it?
Unless someone brings in a super sticker that is like of significant value, and you say for that you deserve a bigger.
Why isn't it working though?
Because I just turned it off because we've done it already.
Oh right, okay, I didn't hear it.
Hang on, you can't hear it. Can you hear that?
No.
You can't hear. Like you can't hear that.
No.
Oh, I don't know what's going on with your computer if you can't hear it, but that's definitely there. The chat can hear it, surely, and that's forever. Unless I don't know what's going on, Johnny. Maybe for the last 9 months, it's just me and you doing this, and everyone's going, "What are they doing?"
No, I heard it. I've always heard it.
Oh, you
Today
have?
I didn't hear it. Today I heard nothing.
Imagine that. Imagine that'd be hilarious. Big
Yes,
up to
in-house
Dino.
training. Yeah, I'm the intern. Intern training.
Real-time
for me.
training. Real-time training. Big
Yeah.
up to Ulrika. Ratatata. Ulrika Kaka. She says, "Thank F. Think is live. Save me from Sava hate." Oh, was he? Has he come after you? Has he come after you? I don't know. Listen, Sava.
Just get back in the bath and dry your bits.
Dry your
Wet your
bits.
bits.
Yeah.
Wet your bits.
Give it a good scrub. Pour yourself a G&T. Pink is on. Big up to you, Ulrika. Thank you very much. And John Turney, our friend from Japan. Big up to you, my man. I got no idea what 800 yen is, but thank you very much indeed. He says, would you accept losing to City to prevent Arsenal from winning the league, but get relegated in the process? Absolutely not. Absolutely. By the way, for those of you that are frequenters of the Spurs 5, I don't ever do very much on the community post section. I don't think we do anything on
Me neither.
I don't do anything on Spurs Talk Show. I only ever use it to post members' phone-in links or whatever. Stell is someone that gets him on board that community posting on his own channel and on Spurs 5. So when he puts things out, I had to say I had no idea. And someone sent me this picture today of Manchester City Hotspur and City till July thing, and I was like, "What is that?" I was like, "That's on Spurs 5. I don't represent that." So I had to put a comment in going, just so I'm unequivocally clear, that is not Sean Butler's take. I am
not mine.
Tottenham. I couldn't give a fuck about Arsenal. Do I want them to win the league? No. Do I want Tottenham to win every game? Yes. If Arsenal win the league or don't win the league, I don't want it to be because we rolled over and died for a team to let them get 3 points. That is so unbelievably weak-minded. Manchester City need to beat us. We don't beat ourselves or let them do it. So when you see things on Spurs 5, on the community post, that stuff is, I think it's usually, it might be Lubo as well, but it's Stell and Lubo. It's definitely not me. I don't think it's Johnny.
No, it's definitely not me. You will not see this if you will not see me doing this if Man City score.
Oh, you found it.
I can't hear anything.
This is when we score a goal on my watch. Look at it.
I can't hear anything. Weird, man. That is really weird.
You can't hear it?
No, I can't hear it. Listen, guys, I think
you don't hear anything. Not hearing anything either. Is no one else hearing anything? Is nobody hearing anything?
No, I can't hear it.
No, we're raving. We are raving.
Johnny's tripping. Look, for me, I want Spurs to win. That's it. I won't cry if Manchester City beat us, because at the end of the day, Manchester United, Manchester City have been given a second life, right? I think Villa are out of it now, having lost their entire midfield. We'll come on to that in a minute, but I think Man City know this is it. This is their last chance. They've been thrown another lifeline, and they have to come here and beat us. And
I'm sure they will. Sure they will. But anyone that's rooting for City, at any point in time, I find it odd.
No.
I'm never on board any of that stuff. I was never on board it. I see that geezer Hotspur hippie going around and goes, I was the only person who wanted.
Oh, yeah. Of course he was.
Manchester City. No, you weren't. I would never. I called out those people who wanted that a couple of years ago. I'd never want Tottenham to lose a game of football because, it doesn't change my life if Arsenal win the league. It does change my life if Tottenham lose, and it does change my life, especially now, if Tottenham get into a relegation battle, massively so. So, anybody that's rooting for City on Sunday is, for me, absolutely abhorrent in their mindset. What are we doing here?
I've had a lot of messages, Sean, from people saying we still haven't done the previous week's predictions where the...
Oh, okay. Do you want to do it today? You want to do it now?
We could do it now, or we can do what's the name?
We got 2 weeks to go through. So we'll run through the results of the week that started, and then we'll do the transfer news, views, and clues if you want.
Yeah. Okay.
So United Manchester City was the game before, right? Do you remember the result in that one? United versus City. That was 2-0.
That was 3-0, wasn't it? 2-0.
2-0 to Manchester United. So we all got nil point on that. Do you remember the Chelsea Brentford score?
I can give you all the scores. Let me get
Give me
back.
the scores from that game week. Give me the scores from that game week.
Guys, if you're here and you wonder what's going on, we do predictions, and let me just find it.
The chat reckons they're catching Butler.
The chat reckon they're catching Butler. So it was the Saturday. It was the Saturday of the West Ham game, right? So
yeah, Chelsea Brentford.
Okay, Chelsea Brentford was Chelsea 2, Brentford 0.
Okay, so I went for 2-1. You went for 2-1. Chat went for 2-2. So 1 point, nil point. Leeds Fulham.
Leeds 1, Fulham 0.
So we all went for the right result, but not the right scoreline. I went for 2-0. You went for 2-1. Chat went for 2-1.
Okay.
Liverpool Burnley.
1-1.
We got that one wrong because we all went for home wins. Sunderland Palace.
Sunderland 2, Palace 1.
So I went for a draw, so 0 points. You guys went for 2-0 each, so 1 point a pop. Tottenham West Ham, we all got wrong. Forest Arsenal, we all got wrong. Oh no, you went for a draw on that one, didn't you?
Yeah.
You went for 2-2, so you got a point. I got 0 point, and the chat got 0 point. Wolves Newcastle.
Wolves Newcastle was 0-0.
So I went for a 1-1, so I get a point. You went for 2-2, so you get a point, and the chat went for 3-1 Newcastle, so 0 point. Villa Everton.
1-0 Everton. Bit of a shock result, that one.
So 0 point across the board. I went for home win, so did you, and the draw went a 2-2 score draw for the chat. Brighton Bournemouth.
1-1.
All wrong. I went for a home win, you went for a home win, chat went for an away win. Dominic Calvert-Lewin was my goal scorer. Did Dominic Calvert-Lewin score for Leeds?
No. Don't think so. Let me look. Let me just check. Leeds, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, lineup, Leeds. No. Nothing.
No goal, no assist.
No assist.
And then you went for Mawani, and
I can confirm he didn't turn up. He didn't even play.
And Xavi Simons was the chat's pick. Did Xavi Simons get an assist for that one?
Xavi Simons did not get an assist. Assist was Pedro Porro.
Okay, so on that week, terrible week for everybody. I came in last week and the chat were going, "Oh, we think we smashed Butler." I got 3 points. The chat got 2 points, and you got 5 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A late chase from Johnny. 2, 5, and 3, 5, and 2. Okay, so that.
Okay, let's go to this week.
So this week, West Ham versus Sunderland.
3-1 West Ham.
So 0 point. I went for a 1-1 draw. You went for 2-1 Sunderland, and the chat went for 2-1 Sunderland. Burnley Spurs. All 0 points. We all went for
2-2. Yeah, we all got that wrong.
Fulham versus Brighton.
I'm sure I put Fulham to win this one.
You said 2-0. I said 2-1, and the chat said 2-1. What was the score?
2-1.
Ooh, so 3 points, 1 point, 3 points.
Yeah.
City Wolves. I said 3-0. You said 3-1. The chat said 3-1.
2-0.
So 1 point a pop.
Yeah.
Bournemouth versus Liverpool. I said 2-2, and you guys went for 2-1 to Liverpool, so 0 point for all of us. Brentford Forest.
We
all went for 2-0.
Yeah, and it was 2-0, but the other way around. Forest winning that one.
Okay, so
Palace versus Chelsea.
I went 2-1 Chelsea. You went 2-1 Chelsea. The chat went 2-0 Chelsea.
3-1 Chelsea.
Okay, so 1 point a pop. Newcastle versus Villa. You guys went for 2-1 to Newcastle. I went for a score draw.
And it was 2-0 Villa.
So nil
And this
point.
was the one I really fancied Man United to do well in this game, which is the chat. But then I changed it to a draw, I believe, 2-2. I think.
Yeah, I went for 2-1. Chat went for 2-1. You went for 2-2. So 0 points to everybody. And then Everton leads. I went 2-1. You went 2-2. Chat went 1-1. And the score was 1-1, wasn't it?
Yeah. So chat gets 3 points.
Chat gets 3. You get 1. And I get nothing. And then the goal scorers were Harry Wilson.
3 points.
No assist.
Don't think so. Let me just check. Don't think he got an assist. No,
Good
just
update.
the goal.
Kept keeping up. You went for Solanke, who
Was on the pitch apparently.
Solanke scored against Dortmund, didn't he? So nothing for you there. And Bruno Fernandes, did he do anything?
Did he get an assist?
Let me have a look.
Hang on, let me have a look. Sunday's game. Bruno Fernandes lineup. He scored 3 goals. Surely he got something, no? Yes, he got an assist.
He got an assist, did he?
Yeah.
Okay. So 1 point apiece. That's 1 point for that one, which means you got nothing. I got 1, which means the last game week 3, 5, and 2. This game week for me 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 points. For the chat, for you, Johnny, you got 1, 2, 3, 4 points. And for the chat got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 points, which means overall, 8 plus 3, is 11 on top of 161, makes me go to 172. For you, Johnny, you got 5 and 4 is 9. On top of 123 equals 132. So still a 40-point margin. And the chat had 154. They got 2 plus 9 is 11. So they are now on 1.
There's about 7 points in it, is it?
165. So it's exactly the same margin as it was before.
7 points only, guys. I think 7 points.
132 points plays 165 points plays 172 points.
One player.
Listen to the chat winding me up. Butler, we're catching you. To be fair, if it wasn't for Harry Wilson, then that might have been
it would have been. Harry Wilson got you out the mud there. It's like pulled a 3-pointer. And he scored in the 93rd minute, guys. The 93rd minute. But hey-ho, Veliz.
Right, let's do some transfer news, views, and clues, guys. Transfer news, views, and clues. I think we just lost like 100 people that were watching who going, "Fuck, what's this about?" Transfers. Where's the transfers? Transfers.
The rumor mill, it's time we went there to speculate, gesticulate on who will go where.
Look, Sean, let's start with a rumour that I'm making up myself. One that we've spoken about for a while when Juventus first came in for this player. And we said, I don't think it's going to happen because they haven't got the money. But we should be doing this deal at the midnight hour. Mateta. There's a lot of people saying, I don't fancy him, blah, blah, blah. Would you take Mateta at the midnight hour and say that isn't a... Yeah.
I'll take it. Why midnight hour? What are we waiting for?
Yeah, but
what are we waiting for, mate?
It's pathetic. But I think we are monitoring FC.
Is it because Palace got... No, has the league phase finished in the Conference League? It has, hasn't it? There's no like round 8 in the Conference League now. They've already finished their games, right?
I think they got one more game. No, they got another game.
Have they?
They got another game. Yeah.
So tomorrow night, there's all of the Europa League and all of the Conference League playing tomorrow night.
I think so. I think
that's
so.
Mental if that's the case. Conference League table. No, they played. The Conference League only plays 6 games, so they're done. The Conference League is done.
Just to say, I don't know if you heard the news, but there was some tragic news where 7K Athens fans had sadly passed away in a traffic accident on the way to the game.
Have you seen the
They're
video?
heading to- Huh?
You've seen the video on Twitter?
No.
It's horrendous. The guy's
says that
obviously like he's trying to overtake one truck. He overtakes it, and then suddenly, like he's like leans back into the other lane, and there's a massive truck that comes on, and they just smash, and that you see the bodies flying out. It's horrendous. It's absolutely horrendous.
It's horrendous. They were heading for France to watch Thursday's match against Lyon, and basically, all of the Greek fans are now returning home and will not attend the game out of respect for those that passed away. Seven fans. I mean, we can relate to that. We've all piled into a van or a coach on the way to an away game. So
it's absolutely awful.
An awful story. If you haven't heard about it, it's absolutely shocking. So they're paying their respects for that. Sorry about that one, Shawnee.
That's all right. Yeah, as far as Mateta goes, by the way, big up to Tony. He's putting his member for 7 months super chat. He says Eintracht Frankfurt to Spurs 3-1. Big up to you, Tony. Hope you're okay, mate.
Thanks a lot, Tony. That happened in Sweden.
Yeah, in terms of Mateta, I understand people think he's streaky. I don't think he's streaky. I think he's motivated or demotivated. When he's on it, but I think he's lost interest in Palace because he sees that it's a sinking ship at the moment. Because
correct, everyone's going.
But does he want to leave that sinking ship to join another one? It's like iceberg right ahead. There's two ships going towards the same iceberg.
Look,
I don't know.
Listen, what we got in our favour is Marinakis. I mean, like, the guy doesn't give a shit. He thinks he's going to stroll into Crystal Palace and buy Mateta after shafting Crystal Palace with John Textor out of the Europa League. Oh, yeah, mate, I'll sell him to you. Fuck that. I'll sell him to anyone but you, Marinakis, right? Yeah. Anyone but you. And that's where I feel like we've got an opportunity, because I reckon, like you, he's demotivated. He doesn't have Eze providing him with any balls. He doesn't have Manuz supplying him with any balls.
Doesn't have Ismail Sarr, doesn't have
Ismail Sarr's been injured. Gayhe's gone. Yeah. Yep. So
is Glasner.
And the manager has said he wants to leave. So, you know, what's the inspiration for him to stay? So I totally get it, but I also totally get why Steve Parish doesn't want to deal with Marinakis. But I think maybe he will deal with Spurs, having already dealt with us.
He wants 40 million quid for Mateta.
He ain't 40 million.
I don't think you get a Prem. He's Prem proven. He is Prem proven.
Well, he wasn't before Glasner, was he? He couldn't hit a barn door. But,
sure. But I'm just like, for me right now, like, I would take Mateta. I would.
100%. 100%.
Richarlison's out for the season. You know Solanke's going to get an injury if he has to carry on playing 90% of minutes. You know
Richarlison's not out for the season.
Or out for the majority 2 months, 2 months.
5 weeks more.
Yeah, but then he's going to be like nursed back in, and you know, all that bollocks, right? So,
well, Solanke's probably going to go because he's playing every week, so he'll probably be shot to bits very, very soon.
I think that you get Mateta. I personally think you get Mateta, and even if he stays for a couple of years and goes, for me, it's a needs must situation. I would definitely do it.
I think it's a midnight hour.
Omar Mamouche, you're not going to get Omar. People are saying Omar Mamouche. You're not going to get him. Like, he's not going to leave. Like, the City have already said they're not going to. Like, they piss people around for ages. Like, just ignore the offers, ignore the bids, and then go, no, sorry, it's not going to come.
But is it a loan? Is a loan for Mamouche a possibility, considering he wants minutes, right? World Cup and everything playing. He wants to play football, and he's not playing football at the moment. I know Aston Villa are in for him, but they've already done Tammy Abraham. Great signing. You know, we could have signed Tammy Abraham for 18 million. I would have taken him 100%. They've got Douglas Luiz, who's coming back.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll do that on loan, a loan for 6 months. They got a very good relationship, Villa and Man City. Morgan Rogers.
Look, I mean, there's absolutely no excuses when it's one thing to say that there's like the market's dry, right? But there's players out there that you can go and get that Villa are able to get, but yet Tottenham are just sitting on their hands. And I think it's paralysis through analysis, not knowing what to do. Not knowing what to do because you don't know whether you want to keep Thomas Frank, which to me is like this is is unacceptably shitty leadership. It really is poor.
It's shocking, isn't it? I mean, look at the business with Robertson. You know, we're looking at buying Robertson if they can get Tsimikas, if Roma can get someone on loan. Meanwhile, Liverpool are looking at Anthony Robinson to replace him instead. No, well, why aren't we doing that?
Yeah. Well, does Robinson see Tottenham as a sideways move?
Well, it's a backward step, mate. They're in sort of 8th place.
3 points off of Champions League at the moment, Fulham.
Yeah.
Anthony, I mean, what a story that would be, by the way. What a story that would be.
Could you imagine?
At that stage, then you go, well, Marco Silva, I want to see Marco Silva, how he handles European football, because then you can judge him as a manager that's experienced at those sorts of things. Until then, you need to, like, you're always going to sit there and go, well, same with Thomas Frank, but very little experience with European football, 2 games a week. Be nice to see Marco. It'd be great to see Fulham playing in Europe. Like, nothing.
Were we guilty?
They're very.
Yeah, were we guilty, Sean, you and I, of disrespecting Marco Silva at the beginning of the season because he wasn't getting a tune out of them? They weren't great. But to lose 3 of their main players, Chukwueze, Iwobi, and Bassi, and I think it was another, and still churn out these results, and now getting them back. Did we?
I don't disrespect
we wouldn't
them.
want him.
I never disrespect them. It's just my take on these managers is until they've done it 2 games a week and until they've experienced the fishbowl of bigger clubs, you don't know what you're getting. Pochettino happened to inherit, when he did it, when he came from Southampton, he happened to inherit a really nice ecosystem and environment. Everything was moving in the right direction. But I think there's just the unknown with Silva. There's the unknown with Iriola. There was the unknown with Thomas Frank of how these people will or did experience being in the fishbowl with bigger press, you know, more scrutiny, all that stuff. And I think with Thomas Frank, he's failed. I think he's failed to be able to handle that. And I think remember Fulham's Europa League run to the final when was Fulham in the final of the Europa League? When was that? It can't have been in the current Europa League. That must have been, hang on.
He said, Butler goes to Google. He's doing a Danny Rose, boys. For those of you listening on audio, he's doing a Danny Rose. Oh. He's off to Google. He's off to Google it.
2009-10. They got to the final. I don't remember that. Fucking hell.
There you go. There you go.
It was the Europa League as well, was it? Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was called
Under Woy. Was it under Woy? Was it under Woy? I can't remember who was under.
16 years ago, mate. I've got no idea. I'm the Roy.
Yeah, Hodgson. But look. The thing is, you know, we poo-poo certain managers, we big them up, then we sack them. Fulham fans were definitely 100% calling for his head, and now they're sat in 7th place.
Yeah, my two co-op guys, the people who work in the co-op that are Fulham fans, they tell me that he's much better respected outside of Fulham than he is in the Fulham fan base. The Fulham fan base don't rate him. I know that's just 2 people's personal opinion, but you know,
here's one that makes me laugh. Do you remember at the beginning of the season, Sean, where we said that Monaco were rehabilitation FC, where they were taking every failed player or someone who had a bit of trouble to try and rehabilitate them? Well, here's one that hasn't worked. Shock horror. Monaco are expected to explore the opportunity to part ways and cancel the contract of midfielder Paul Pogba. His contract is supposed to run him until the summer of 2027, but his return hasn't gone as initially hoped. What shock. He has only played 30 minutes of football since coming back from a drug ban. 30 minutes. How much do you reckon he's on? And that contract, unbelievable.
I'd imagine it's on a pay as you play, personally. But...
You reckon?
Well, maybe part of it probably.
I'm not so sure, mate. The last one, right? Let's have 2 laughs, right? Joshua Zirkzee, Spurs linked with. I mean, What we doing here? 45 games. He's hardly scored a goal. Can't play for Man United. Can't play for Man United under two managers, and you think he should be coming to Spurs? Jesus Christ, who's doing the recruitment? The tea lady. And the last one, Hugo Bueno, 20 games for Wolves this season. He has played every game for a team that scored 8 points this season, and he's been the mainstay of the defence. Is that what we're looking at, Sean?
Yeah, Hugo Bueno. Yeah. I mean,
what are we doing? What are we doing?
I'm just
What
like,
are we doing?
I don't even know if they're real though, do we? We don't even know. What we do know, mate, is that most of the time the stories that are out there are nothing like the stories that end up materializing. Like, no one was talking about Robertson until, like, basically you might as well just ignore all transfer. Whilst Johan Lang is in charge of Tottenham, you might as well ignore all of the Dean Jones, all of the Graham Baileys, all of the Ben Jacobs, all of these people, the TalkSport, Alex Scott, Alex, whatever his name is. All of these guys, just ignore them all because they're all full of shit. They all make up a load of nonsense. And then out of nowhere, you get Ornstein saying Tottenham are going to go for this guy. And then 2 minutes later, it's either a here we go or it's falling apart. But you might as well just wait for Ornstein. The only like respite that you get from that scenario is that I'm glad that we're not linked with players that I really want to get, because that leaves an opportunity for those players that I do want to have to be
for someone else to, yeah.
No, I mean, just that you might like all the ones like you know that if someone's saying Bueno or someone's saying whoever, right, whoever it's there, you know, Vlahovic or whatever, like they're not the ones that we're looking at.
It's an agent. Yeah, it's an agent.
We're not looking at those ones, right? So just like, and the fact that if recent history is anything to go by, then when you see someone else say something, you just chalk them off the list rather than I'll talk about them like they might happen because it's what I do. But in reality, you just chalk them off the list and then you wait for Ornstein to say some random name out of nowhere. And then that's the one you go for. That's been the tail of the tape for the last couple of seasons. So the fact that there's been no decent players linked might mean that Ornstein might actually bring us a decent story in
please God.
Days.
Please, you know? God, can I just call out Eric Hall, who was calling me out earlier for talking shit and giving fake information about Callum Olosesi? It wasn't fake information, mate. I've actually spoken to Lily White Rose about it, and it's been reported in 2 or 3 other outlets that Torino had made a bid, and it was likely he was going to go there on loan. I've got no problem with the player going out on loan. It's brilliant news. But for me, the issue was, why would you insert a buy opportunity for a player that if he goes out to Torino, does really well, you sold him on the cheap? What the hell would you be doing that? I mean, honestly, it makes absolutely no sense. And now we hear the news today. Who did you say is coming for him? Late, was it Germany?
PSV Eindhoven.
Oh, PSV Eindhoven have come in for him. Listen, I'm not interested in selling him. He's the captain of Spurs under 21s for a reason.
Has he travelled today? Yeah,
he's travelled today with the team. Yeah, I'd like to see him get some minutes.
Give him a chance.
I'd like to see him get some minutes. You know, really, honestly, what's the point? A bit of bad news. Well, listen, good news for Arsenal, bad news for Aston Villa was the news that they've more or less lost their entire midfield. Tielemans took a bad injury at the weekend. McGinn looks like he's out for months, and Babaku Kamara is out for weeks. So does that mean, Sean, you know, they're bringing Douglas Luiz back? Does that possibly mean that Harvey Elliott might get a game finally, due to the fact that they're down to bare bones?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know what's going on with Harvey Elliott. I've got no idea, mate. To be honest, I don't follow Villa's like stories and their fan base.
But you know, when you're
wasn't he supposed to be going over to like Charlotte or somewhere?
I don't know, but when you're 4 points, when you've got to yourself to a position where you're 4 points behind Arsenal, and all of a sudden you lose your entire midfield. I mean, everything's falling into place for them up the top at the moment. Let's hope it's not the case. Another player who's hit the injury road is Patrick Dorgu. It looks like he's going to be out for up to 10 weeks for Man United. That'll be a big blow to them. Great
Yeah.
for us because we're playing them in a couple of weeks. What other transfers have you got there, Sean?
There's not too many more, mate. This morning it's pretty dry. Let me have a quick look. See on the
Got Chelsea
transfer
are
feed.
looking to Real Madrid. Really regretting letting Endrick go out on loan to Lyon. He scored a hat trick.
Alvaro Morata has said, if Nico Paz stays with us at Como next season, I'll play for free. Fucking hell. And that's nice, isn't it? Lucas Paqueta has gone to Flamengo. Here we go. The done deal, 42. And Flamengo got 42 milski.
Mate, a lot of money coming in suddenly into Brazil.
Yeah, not a lot of money. I did a video on that
got to
about
have a
2
look.
years ago.
You got to check that out. But Chelsea are prepared to make an £80 million bid for Endrick out of Real Madrid. But Real Madrid are regretting letting him go out on loan because he didn't fit into Alonso's plans. There's a good chance that he'll be bought back at the end of his loan and reassessed before any of that happens. But the one
Maurizio Sarri has revealed that he is quitting smoking. It's been reported in the past that he smokes 80 ciggies a day. That's 29,200 ciggies a year.
Fucking ridiculous. It's like a machine. Chelsea.
That's a cigarette every 15 minutes.
I mean, I'm surprised.
If you don't sleep, that's a cigarette every 15 minutes.
Ridiculous, mate. It's ridiculous.
Listen, I think I think the damage is done, bro. I think the damage.
No, he can't go back on that. Chelsea face fierce competition to sign Jeremy Jacquet, and they're saying if they don't get Jeremy Jacquet, they want to go for Senesi from Bournemouth. Would you take Senesi at Spurs if that's the one player I'd probably take if we don't get Robertson. Just trying to see who else. Arsenal, Manchester United and Chelsea are all keeping tabs on the Freiburg midfielder Johan Manzebi. I'm not sure if I know too much about him. No, not too much about him. There isn't a lot out there, Sean, to be honest with you. Newcastle are exploring the possibility of launching a late January bid to sign Atalanta's highly rated midfielder and a fan of you and I, Edison.
Yeah.
That's a team with ambition.
Yeah.
Spurs talk about ambition, but have none.
Yeah. 100%, mate. 100%. My apathy towards Tottenham is in the mud at the moment, mate.
Are you ENIC out now, Sean?
I was always new owners.
I mean, like now that the board haven't, we've heard the new dawn in the only
person I ever defended was Daniel Levy, and Daniel Levy has proven to not be the problem.
Tell me something.
I was right the whole time.
Tell me something. Because did Daniel purposely? I want to ask you this question. I meant to ask you on the 5 the other day. Did Daniel Levy purposely put himself in a position where he controlled so many elements from the game, the players, the training, the medical and everything, and recruitment and the finances, that if he removed himself or if he was removed, key person, the whole pack of cards come tumbling down?
Yeah, whether that's a conscious decision or not, mate, I think
it's a conscious decision.
It might be. It might well be. But I also think control freaks are unconsciously... Like, I used to see this guy... Again, just a little anecdote. I used to see this guy who worked for Google who was a micromanager, right? He was an unbelievably good employee, right? He wasn't in my department, but he was in a different department. But I used to know him. We'd go out for a drink with him and stuff. And he would be just like sitting there going, I've got to stop micromanaging. I don't sleep. He's looking like gaunt and stuff. He's like, I look at all the work these people are doing. I'm always telling them they got to do this, they got to do that. And in the end, his boss said, look, you've got to find a way to let go, let people do their job. You have to let people spread their wings. You've got the best people in the world that work for Google. You have to trust them. And he couldn't do it. He couldn't do it. And it wasn't like a conscious thing that if I let these people go, like he wasn't worried about their success or that the threat to him of their success. it's just like a pathological thing where he couldn't not micromanage people. And then therefore he had to be in charge of everything. And in the end, he got let go. In the end, he was like, you're not doing your job because you're spending all day long worrying about the people beneath you.
But the thing is, he was such a key person, and he knew that ultimately he was never the boss. Joe Lewis was the boss, right? And they proved it. But did he consciously do it? I believe he consciously controlled it, because he knew maybe at the back of his head one day, what if they come in and they try to remove me? I need to make it so much so that without me, nothing runs properly. And do you think that maybe that Enoch Bald really did not understand the significance of removing him overnight and the implications that would take place?
It's a power vacuum, mate. Power vacuum.
And now
these things are going to take time.
Yeah.
Like, I genuinely do, like, part of like all the fact that we don't get enough insight into the day-to-day of these things, so we don't know what's going on. Gary did say, like, and Gary is someone who's at least got insight into some of the workings of the football club, right? Even out, maybe not necessarily within his own department that he works in, or that he has access to, but he just says, for him, his take, and he hasn't got a bias. He's just seeing it from a level of access. He says there's so much going on, and for the most part, it looks like it's moving in the right direction. But to those people that don't see, and all you see is what you read in the press and the results on the pitch, you assume that it's all just fucking chaos. But Gary's sitting there saying it looks like that, but there is turmoil, mate. I've been in businesses where there's been massive transformation. When I moved to Australia, I joined a business before I moved to Google. I joined their partner, and their partner, the day I got there, within a week, right, I would have been like, I started off as a salesman, and I would have been like the 30th salesperson in terms of longevity in that particular location. And they had locations all over Australia and New Zealand. And within a week, the share price of the company was tanking. The CEO fucked off. And about 20, 22, 23 of the senior salespeople all jacked it in. And I turned around I phoned my dad up and said, what have I done? I've signed up to a company that's on its knees. And my dad said, Sean, out of adversity comes opportunity, right?
100%. You move up.
The company's screwed. Like, you're now like seventh in line, right? So you guys just get your head down, learn the gig, learn the job, do your best, and you'll thrive. And that's the way it worked out, right? And then like everything worked out for me in that regard. And then within like 3 months, you had 15 new people that were coming in, and they were turning to you for advice because you're more senior to them, but you were basically new as well. So I feel like at Tottenham, we're going through a turmoil, but we don't see any of it. But those that do, people like Gary that have got an insight, say actually it will, in their opinion,
they're addressing it.
They're addressing it, and these things do take time, right? So as long as we can get through this summer, get through this season, stay up, then hopefully with more time and more experience, these new people that are coming in, director of this, director of that, director of the other, hopefully with more time, then the vacuum that Daniel Levy has left behind, Johnny, will be filled. But for sure, I think, he definitely was a control freak. And he definitely couldn't let go of the reins. But whether or not that was a conscious thing or a subconscious thing doesn't really matter, because at the end of the day, the reality was the reality that Daniel Levy couldn't let go.
Does it not matter? I mean, I think it does matter. But he cared about the club. Anyone who says he didn't care about the club is ridiculous, because he definitely cared about the club. But did he have an element of self-preservation in there to make it that no one could come along and just push him out overnight?
Yeah, 100%. Just got to I loved Australia, Kate. I Google offered me a move to New York. That's why. Well, you got to take that opportunity when you get it. Just quickly, Jordan. Sorry, Johnny. Just Jordan's having a little stay here. He mentioned to me a few times, when I was on Football 12th Man, you said content has to content when it comes to the protest. Does that mean you don't care about success on the pitch? Not at all. Not at all. But when I say content's got a content, it's tongue in cheek, isn't it? I just mean that I'm a content.
We often say that.
Then it says you need to tell Saba to stop engaging with the trolls. If he doesn't like the trolls, he engages with them, and so I think he likes the trolls. That's just Saba's style, mate. There's 3 E's to content, right? Engage people, entertain people, and educate people.
That's what we try and do
If
here.
you want to be a successful channel, then you need a healthy balance of entertainment, education, and engagement. Sava engages his audience in a certain way. He educates people with his knowledge, and he entertains people in his own way. And he's a very successful guy at doing it. So if he was to stop doing that shit, I think people wouldn't necessarily. I think that's the version of content that he's created. And then you've also said to me, mate, how can you rate Marcus? Sorry, last one, Johnny, quickly. How can you rate Marcus Edwards but not Mikey Moore? Surely you'd either rate both or none. I didn't say I'd rate one or the other. I said that Mikey Moore hasn't done anything for me at Rangers yet. I know he scored a couple of goals, but whenever I've watched him, he's been fairly anonymous. And as far as Marcus Edwards goes, I think Marcus Edwards has his own problems. His personality is a bit of he wasn't ready to be patient and wait. He went off to Sporting, and I was always very impressed when I saw him. Didn't have that much insight. I don't watch Portuguese football week in, week out. But I think he's come back to Burnley, and he's been very good. I always rated Marcus Edwards. It doesn't mean that I don't think Mikey Moore will be good. It doesn't mean that I want Marcus Edwards back. I'm just saying that for me, Mikey Moore hasn't done anything that tells me he's ready to be in a Tottenham first team yet. That's all I would say.
He's gonna go there. There's a couple of Daniel Leaf things. Guys, if you're in the chat, please hit. There's over 400-500 of you have been here over time. Guys, if you hit the like and subscribe button if you're here for the first time, trying to help the channel grow to 6,000. I think Levy genuinely cared about the club and wanted to make sure they were financially stable. And Reese, Levy had 25% ownership, so of course he cared about the club. It was intrinsically linked to his net worth, 100%. But I also do think, Reese, that there was an element of self-preservation, knowing, you know, how cutthroat corporate world could be, that he wanted to make his position untenable, that he couldn't be replaced. Even when, you know, the likes of Todd Bowley and others approached about buying the club, it all fell down at the final hurdle when he said that he had to remain as CEO on any takeover, hence the reason why he's been removed. And I think this removal has had a massive detrimental effect on the club, because I don't think that Charrington, the Lewis family, or Vinay really realised the gaping hole that he's left behind. And this vacuum has not been filled. And this is why we find ourselves in an absolute mess from top to bottom.
Throwing him out of the club, Johnny, unceremoniously, not allowing him back in to get his bits and pieces, not giving him a fond farewell, no real clarity on whether it was by design or planned or
check every contract,
whatever it was, it looks like it was they've uncovered, and we'd have to speculate, but it looks like they've uncovered something and then gone for whatever. I don't know, we're speculating, but like either he deliberately fucking misled Qatar or whatever, get him out, or he deliberately didn't do this, get him out, with no plan of what do we do next. And 100%, it should have been more harmonious. It should have been more convivial. It should have been, thank you for everything you've done. We're gonna like
slowly.
But we need to move in a different direction here, Daniel. You can still be involved in this, that, and the other. We're not happy with what you've seen, but we appreciate what your value is. We need you to kind of like, I don't know, like sort of bookend your time with quality at the top, quality at the bottom, and then we can move on. And it looks to me like they're trying to throw him under the bus. And in so doing, what they've done is open up a can of worms where Tottenham now face a very perilous short-term future. And it could get really fucking bad. And again, that screams to me of ridiculous ineptitude and naivety in how important and how influential he was at keeping all the cogs moving and oiled. Whether or not he took too much responsibility on, whether or not he cop-blocked decisions, all of those things might be true. But there's a way you go about it, and I think that they've gone about it in a really stupid way. And we're now licking our wounds as a consequence.
I mean, I think the interesting thing is that they did an audit when Charrington came in. An American company did an overview. They obviously found something, because they took him out immediately. Then not only that, but they stopped every single transaction. Every single deal, every single contract that had been signed was halted until they microscopically went through every single one of those terms to look at it and see. The hotel was stopped. Various things were stopped and halted. contracts that were awarded at Hotspur Way, at Whitewebs, the hotel. All of them were all analysed. We're not sure what for, but they would there's definitely something that will come out maybe at a later date. And I'm also hearing strong stories about the Lewises now trying to dilute Daniel by some means or other. But it's definitely left a vacuum. It's left us in a situation where even Paratici has chosen to leave Spurs, who are in the Premier League, for Fiorentina, who are, in trouble of being relegated. And I've noticed he's got another player on a loan signing. I think he's done about 4 or 5 deals now for Fiorentina, and yet we're still scurrying around looking for also rans. We haven't seen any quality. There's not been.
We're not sure if we are. We're not sure if we are, right? We don't know. Let's be honest, Johnny. When was the last player that we signed, or we tried to sign, that was clear that Ornstein said we were signing? I'll include the Gibbs White. I'll include Eze. I'll include Robertson. Obviously, those haven't happened for whatever reason, right? But all of the links, all of the thousands of links that get generated by the donuts every day that I participate in talking about because it's fun or whatever.
We all do. We all do, because that's
what we do, right? But for the most part, none of them ever come true. And then Ornstein comes up with, oh shit, Tottenham are interested in signing this guy. And then 12 hours later, it's Tottenham are about to close, or here we go, or problems, or whatever else. But on that basis, the only rationale for why we should be so upset about the lack of transfers is the fact that, one, we don't know what's going on. 2, but that isn't necessarily doesn't mean that nothing's going on. The absence of evidence is not evidence of absence in that regard, right?
100%, 100%.
2, because it's late in the window, and 3, because there's other teams that are signing players that we could probably argue that we should be signing. Players like Tammy Abraham, players like it looks like Jose Sarr, like Nottingham Forest are about to sign Jose Sarr from Wolves, right? Because they've lost John Victor, right? And yet we're interested in Sam Johnston of Wolves. Like, what are we doing here? Like, how is it that Forest are signing if that's what materializes?
Because Edu is a proper look. We got Edu, who's worked at Arsenal for years and did some fantastic recruitment, but got offered an incredible job by Marinakis to run his whole football empire and recruitment, which is what he's done. He's brought in great players from Botafogo. He's brought players in from all over the place. But look how quick the reaction was. Look how quick it is. Bang. Victor.
Well, if it's true, though, again, like the people that are dropping the story about Jose Sarr are the Graham Baileys of this world. I don't think it's the Ornsteins or anything. I don't think it is from what I saw. It's so like, I'm sort of doing myself a disservice here because I'm like, Spurs Talk Show is essentially transfer news, views and clues for most days. But like, I'm starting to get to the point where like there's no point in talking about stories that are coming under Johan Lang. At least there is no point in talking about stories that come from these
because he works in the shadows, right?
He works in the shadows. It's so frustrating because he doesn't give you any insight. And then Tottenham fans are just left to sit there and assume that they're doing no business, but it's really not. They just do things under cloak and dagger. They do things under the cloak of darkness. And that is like, it doesn't mean that we're not doing anything. Do you think that the window's just going to close with, it might close with nothing more, but I do think you'll get another Ornstein bomber in the next 2 or 3 days, especially after tonight, Johnny, when the Champions League's done. We'll know where we're at. And so will everyone else.
I think Mateta is one signing that I've said this right from the beginning of the window, not the beginning of the window, but when he said he'd like to go and Juventus were linked and he said he wants to leave. I believe that this will be a midnight hour acquisition.
There he is.
I hope I'm right. 2 signings,
There's our boy.
Gary.
There's our boy.
Gary, 2 signings.
2 more signings, Gazza, yeah? 2 more signings.
We need
a
left back, and an attacking player, whether it's a striker or a left winger. But we need 2 monsters, Gary. We need 2 monster
Are
signings.
you
We
speaking
don't
from
need.
are you speaking from a place of like you can't access certain parts of the training ground today because people are doing their medicals, or are you saying it
Yes.
from a fan
Yeah.
perspective? What are we saying here, Gary? Because you know a thing or two about a thing or two.
If Gary's banned from certain sections of the ground, it could be good news.
I feel like Gary might become our own. He might be doing. He might be our own Ornstein. He's our
Eyes
own
on the prize.
We're going to call you Garonstein.
Yeah, Gary, we're going to get you back on, mate. We've had so many people message us with loads more questions, wanting you back on for round 2. Lots of people talking about the grass weave, the grass synthetic weave on the pitch. People have run away with this. That this is the reason why so many injuries have been at the training ground and on our pitch. I'm sure there's it's not as simple as that, but let's see what happened. We got here. Graham Bailey comes into a Newcastle channel pretty often, decent bloke, but talks a lot of nonsense. Don't we all? Mateto and Porro link is going to be our best link. Porro? It must be wrong there.
Not Porro. Someone else must be.
It must be someone else. Gary's, what's this? Gary's show was top content, lad. A joy to listen to. Thanks very much, Reese. Yeah, we're going to try and get Gary back, and we're trying to get some more interesting people on the show. People a little bit more interesting than Sean and ourselves. We'll give you
Jordan,
a little bit.
are you a troll, mate? I literally just comment. You posted this before. Are you doing this troll thing? Are you doing this troll thing? Mate, you're not going to get me wound up, mate. You're not going to get me wound up. I already answered that. And you put in other things saying that there's a theme, a trend. I rate certain players, but not others. I don't know what the theme is that you're trying to suggest here. Because I rate Matisse Tell and Odebear and Marcus Edwards, but not Mikey Moore. Are you suggesting that I'm like anti-racist or something? That I only rate people with a certain skin color? What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, listen, there's always one. James, this is a great one, mate. Really a great comment, right? Gary, if you're still in the chat, right? Gary, will the 2 signings be old enough to sign their own contracts, or will they need to be accompanied by an Very good. I mean, that's pretty much it. Guys, if you're in the chat, if you're in the chat, please hit the like and hit the subscribe button. We're trying to get to 6,000. I know there's loads of you. There's over nearly 700 in the chat just a little while ago. It's over 600 in the chat here. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you're here for the first time, so you can find us as a growing channel. These foreign accents coming home to
Yeah, that's right. Because I'm 8% Nigerian. You now think I only rate black players.
Yeah.
Listen, I can't help it. What is this? I only like the Nigerians.
Listen, look, we were thought of doing a Nigerian show because I'm 1.5% Nigerian. Sean is slightly more.
8%, baby. 8% Nigerian. What is this?
I've got the crucial 1.5%, the 1.5% that matters.
Yeah. All right, guys, we'll leave it there.
Yeah, guys, we're going to go now. Thanks very much. It's been a much longer show than we intended. Thanks very much for the support. Guys, hit the subscribe, hit the like button. And if you're listening on audio, please hit the follow on Apple and Spotify. Guys, thanks very much. Hope your team does well tonight. Oh, here's Gary. Here's a evening session. Need to get a groundsman to speak about grass in depth, but not causing injuries. Okay.
What the fuck's that? Tarket Group.
Yeah, solutions. We'll speak to you offline, Gary. We'll try and get some other interesting. Maybe he'll come and join you, and we'll do a 4-ball on here. All right, guys. Thanks very much. Enjoy your game this evening, and let's hope, as Spurs fans, we get a win tonight. Goodbye from me.
Goodbye from Johnny. Bye.